Sharp Game here, coming at you for another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my street dating confessions. And this is going to be about what I've experienced over the past couple weeks, couple months, where I live, from North Carolina, South Carolina, all the way to Georgia. And in this country, there's something going on that's going to really change the whole landscape of what you know to be a relationship. Being monogamous, to be exact. There's some people out here in these, I call them subgroups, the swinger groups, BDSM groups, the polygamous groups, and there's lots of different subgroups within these groups. And some of these people, most of them are couples, and you have a lot of divorced people as well, but most of them are couples. And I meet a lot of different people from different walks of life, and a lot of different places too, at bars, restaurants, parties, clubs. And I try not to be so judgmental. I kind of just like to hear people out, just to hear what they got to say, because I'm sometimes curious why this person would be so comfortable telling me about their livelihood, their lifestyle. So I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. So, it's people out here that have completely abandoned the monogamous way of being in a relationship. They completely abandoned that. They pretty much said, hey, this shit don't work, and I don't want no parts of it. And a lot of people got in divorce and got remarried again, or about to get married again. And then you have a lot of couples that have had their problems. They had kids, and just being monogamous didn't work for them. So now they're looking for alternatives, solutions. So that could be swinging, that could be having some type of polygamous relationship with other couples involved, or that could be simply going on a vacation and finding a guy or girl for either side of the equation, something of that nature. And you're never going to hear about this on television. You're never going to hear about it. And see, that's the thing about the mainstream media. There's a lot of things that come up on there that I hear people talk about, but I just never see it when I'm out and about. And I'm everywhere. I'm up north, south, all through the Midwest, and I don't see 80% of the stuff that they talk about on television. I don't see it. I don't see it go down like that. I really don't. You know, and that's the thing that you have to understand. You know, there's a lot of women don't function the way you think. It just doesn't work out like that. And I think a lot of guys got to wake up. You know, you're not going to find Mother Teresa out here. And she been with 2 to 5 guys all her entire life before you met her. That's probably not going to happen. And there's no such thing as a good girl anymore. That's over. The only thing you're going to find is a woman, at least if you're interested anyway, is a woman that's good for you. She's a good fit for you. That's all you're going to get out here today. You're not going to find this pure woman that's just sitting at the house waiting for you, and she's not dating anybody else or sleeping with anybody else. That's probably not going to happen. This is not 1987, where women are sitting in the apartment, sitting in their house, waiting on the right guy to show up. That's not going to happen. Not today. Not today not in the United States of America, where women are on the internet every 5-10 minutes checking their text and email on Facebook and Instagram and leaving comments on YouTube. I don't think so. You know, it's just a new paradigm shift today. And a lot of women, a lot of people just don't even take the concept of marriage serious. You know, they just don't really. They don't look at it like a business. They kind of look at it like, it's just a celebration. Kind of like a graduation. And they go into it for the wrong reason. It's all based on feelings and emotion. Really. It's no planning of how things, how the relationship is going to progress once they get married. It's kind of like there's no planning behind most of these marriages. See, that's why it doesn't work, because most people don't have the tools. You have to plan to be together. You can't just leave it up to one person to do all the work and do all the planning while you sit back on the couch watching television with all these expectations. And quite frankly, a lot of these women, they're not like your grandparents. Or they might not be like your parents if your parents is old as mine. They're not built like that today. That's over too. See, a lot of guys are looking for women that's like their grandparents, like Big Mama. See, most of these girls ain't had no Big Mama growing up, so they don't know what that looks like. They ain't, they don't even know. A lot of these girls can't even cook. They don't know the concept of or the value of family. They don't understand how that makes a difference as far as just living and the quality of life. They don't understand how they don't see the value in that. A lot of women just think about themselves most of the time. They're a lifestyle that they want to live. they're kind of in a fantasy world, kind of. You know, it's kind of like they look at television and somehow they just want to model that way of living without no proof of concept, without no way of attaining any of it. They just want somebody else to do the work and they want to benefit. But it doesn't work like that. It really doesn't work like that. Yeah. So you got a bunch of women out here on the internet and even off the internet are basically the same type of women today. See, the woman that's on Instagram that's showing her body, she ain't no better or worse than the women that you pass by every day on the street, when you go to the store, when you go to work, or in the workplace. They're all the same today. The educated woman that went to college versus the woman that's in a strip club versus the woman on Instagram versus the woman that's maybe turning tricks or tricking off with guys. These women aren't any better today. They all the same today, really. Because see, you're gonna meet women out here today, and a lot of them more than likely have done something that they would say, it's out of their character, whatever. It's in the closet. Yeah, they would say it's in the closet. That's what they say. And all these women got something that's in the closet, but she's not gonna tell you that. She's not gonna tell you how many guys she slept with, how many guys she done probably bartered sex with or turned tricks with. She's not gonna tell you that. Because she thinks you can't take it, and you probably can't take it. A lot of guys probably can't take it. Because we live in a society where people they love to judge. They can't handle the truth, even though they say, hey, they want the truth, but they can't really handle it. And it's all about image with no foundation. That's what it's all about today. It's all about, image, no foundation, no substance. So a lot of these other subgroups, polygamous groups, swingers, they say to hell with all that shit. They opt out completely. And you know what's crazy? Some of these swinger groups, they're the most happiest couples I've ever met. Now this might sound, you would think it would be the opposite. Some of these swingers I've ever met, they're the happiest couples I've ever met, man. And they be looking at us like we crazy. I mean, it's like, I've met a couple of these swingers, and they say, hey, you know what? I met two of them when I was in the Navy. They said, hey, my wife, she likes you. She wants to spend time with you. You can come over to the house. We can plan a day. Y'all can spend the whole day together. Yeah, this happened twice when I was in the Navy. It happened again when I was out of the Navy too, but I never took them up on the offer, But it happens, man. But these are the happiest couples, because I think it's because they put everything on the table. Everything is open. There's no There's no surprises. There's nothing in the closet. You know? See, a lot of women out here today, they seem to love the drama. They seem to get bored. If a woman can see everything, if she can figure you out, know what's going to happen, if everything's narrow, straight up, head to toe, most women are going to get bored with that. It's going to become too predictable. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is here in America. So a lot of women get bored and they start saying stuff and bickering and going back and forth. So I think on the other side of the equation, these couples, everything is so open. Everything is so not so much, very not as a non-judgmental relationship. Everything's on the table. No one's judging. Everyone's straightforward. Everyone knows what they want, what they like, what they dislike. This guy, you know, maybe he likes his wife getting smashed in front of him. Maybe, maybe not. Some of these guys watch, some of them don't. Some of them just let their wives do what they do in private, you know. And sometimes it's they swing with with a couple involved, and sometimes they don't. It really depends. But it's just a different way of thinking, different way of being. And I always say, I don't judge any of these people, by the way. I always say, it's your life, your relationship, do what works for you. You know, some of these relationships, I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be involved in. Some of the stuff is, personally, it's a little too much for me. The BDSM and the, yeah, that's a little bit too much for me. You know, but personally, let them do what works for them. Now, as far as having more than one woman, I've done that pretty much all my life. I mean, I know how to manage more than one woman, but I do it under it's my rules. You know, I do it my way. I don't necessarily agree with, as far as having a polygamy type relationships. I don't necessarily agree with all their protocols that they have, you know, but that works for them and that's totally fine. But, you know, because like for a lot of the polygamy relationship, polyana relationship, I should say, and then like I said, it's different sects and subgroups. You might have like one household with like 3 different couples living there. And everybody basically have the option of fucking each other. And if a woman was to get pregnant, everybody helps out financially, emotionally, take care of the baby, etc., etc. You know, so that's how that works. You know, and then you have some people don't necessarily live together, but they spend a lot of time together, and you know they'll have the option to sleep with each other. You know, they'll basically do anything together, travel, whatever they agree upon. Travel together, sleep together. If somebody get pregnant, same thing. You know, so that, but you know that's basically how that works, from what I was told. You know, and I was told this directly too. You know, this didn't, I didn't read this out of a book or anything like that. I've been told this by hundreds of people by now, you know. And I've been in a lot of circles. I've been to, I went to one event one day, you know. And you have to realize these groups, subgroups, BDSMs, they have like meetups all over the world. all over the world. So think about this. There's these groups, subgroups, polyana groups, polygamous groups. They're having meetups all over America. And they meet up, I don't know, once a week, twice a month, whatever. And they have discussions, and they have playtime, and they have events, and they have, they educate new people, old people. They're always building. And let me tell you what else is so interesting about these groups. They're actually creating their own underground economy. That's what's interesting about a lot of these groups. They're creating their own economy. And you're not going to hear about this within the mainstream media. This is like underground. They're creating their own economy with this. So you have, because some of these people, they own clubs. Well, and most of them are like hole in the walls. But they have them. They have clubs. They have places for events. And then they have, some people have events at a private location, a hotel, or a house, etc. And they charge people a fee at these clubs, events, private events. Yeah, so that's what's interesting about a lot of these groups. And these people have completely shunned and pretty much said to hell with being monogamous. That don't work for us. That's what's interesting. And more than likely, you've met a woman that were involved in some of these groups, but you just didn't know it. More than likely, you know a woman that's involved with some of these groups. You just don't know it. Because it's kind of, these groups are kind of, it's kind of like a secret society. They're kind of very secretive. They don't really talk about it, what they do, how they live outside of their regular life, I should say. It's like you work with some of these people. I mean, when they're at work, they're at work. That's it. They don't talk about their personal lives, what they're gonna do over the weekend. They don't let their coworkers like come over to their house or anything like that. No. These people are very they're very I would say they don't let new people in. They don't let new people get too close to them. That's one thing I would say. But the thing that really interests me, that I thought was really interesting, is the money making aspect of it. They create their own economy. And they basically go about it the same way I did 10 years ago. Basically, you build the audience by educating the people, and then you let them sell themselves on what you have to offer. And that's basically what my whole entire channel, my other channel, is all about. Really. And if you haven't subscribed over there, go do it. It's called the Day Job Bailout Plan. Go over there and subscribe. You know, that's my second channel, the Day Job Bailout Plan. You know, most of that channel is about creating your own opportunities and finding opportunities and blowing it up. And, you know, I'm very strategic on how I break down things. And so go over there and subscribe, the Day Job Bailout Plan. So anyways, you know, it's like, you know, you have this dynamic, these subgroups. I'm going to predict in another 10 years, it's not going to be unusual for, you know, for polygamous groups or polyandry groups to be talked about in society. I give it another 10 years. Yeah, it's going to take a while. Another 10 years, you're going to walk up to somebody and you're going to ask them, hey, you married? Like, yeah, I live with 2 families or 3 families. You know, I'll be like, what? That's going to be normal in another 10 years. Because the divorce rate, marriage is not working in this country for most people. It's just not. We have to be honest with that. Really. We really have to be honest. It's not going to work out for most guys. It's just not. And the reason why it's not going to work out for most guys, because it wasn't for you in the beginning. It was for rich guys. Marriage is about property and making sure what's mine is going to be passed down properly. That's what marriage is about. And that's what it's always been about. Marriage was not for the working class common man and woman. Never have, and it probably never will. That's why most guys are going to lose if they get married. And you don't got to believe me. You can look up the information yourself. See how marriage came about. And see what it's all about. And you understand more. And even if you was to get married, you could take that information and learn from it. That way, they'll give you more of an upper hand of how to win at being married. And even with you having the knowledge and the right information, you still have to have a certain amount of skill set to win. Because you're only as strong as the people that you have around you. So you're going to have to find a woman that wants to take things the way you want to take it and understand what this whole marriage game is really all about. But if you get married to a woman that wants to follow the status quo, follow the Joneses, keep up with her friends, everything is just for show, she's in competition with the friends and trying to please the parents. If you get married to that woman, you're going to lose. You're going to lose 97% of the time. You get married to a woman that's like that. Because that that's a recipe for disaster today. It really is. So this is the end of my street dating confessions. So if you like what you heard, subscribe, share this video, leave your comments below. Go get my books. Love Can't Wait on Amazon.com. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.